Hello and welcome back to another daily Top 10's Top 10 video. Today we're proving that, on occasion, crime does pay, and it can make you richer than you ever thought possible. 10. Contract killing / assassins. In Hollywood, assassins are portrayed as enigmatic killing machines that live in the shadows and earn millions for single hits. In real life, assassins tend to have assimilated into society just like the rest of us. They tend to work for cartels and mafia families, and they're paid to kill on command, often just for a few $1,000s, because in the gangland world, few lives are worth millions. But still, there is money to be made, so if you don't have a conscience, you hate your fellow humans, and you only care about money, then assassination is the job for you. Or you can become a lawyer. 9. Hacking. Electronic theft and black hat hacking not only generates a lot of cash for the criminals, but it also compromises businesses and is a huge threat to national security. Cybercrime is a weapon, and all first world nations have a team of hackers on their payroll. But the ones earning the big paychecks in this industry are the ones holding million-dollar companies to ransom. Elite hacking is a far cry from the time you've hacked into your ex's Facebook account and came out to her parents. It's a shadowy, professional, high-paying industry that has the potential to cripple entire economies. 8. Illegal wildlife trade. Hundreds of millions of plants and animals are illegally smuggled every year. These are sold as exotic pets and food used in traditional Chinese medicine or sold to the leather and fur industry. This illegal trade results in the suffering and death of millions of animals every year, while the introduction of invasive plant species is damaging countless ecosystems. 7. Prohibition. Once something becomes illegal, the margins go through the roof, and the demand tags along with it. Prohibition didn't stop the US public from wanting to drink, it just changed their supplier, making gang bosses like Al Capone rich and leaving the government without their cut. Illegal gambling has also made a score of gangsters super rich, including Mayor Lenksy, who had close links to the mafia, several $100 million in the bank, and an entire empire that would make Michael Corleone jealous. 6. Money laundering. You can't earn millions of dollars without raising a few eyebrows, and the super rich are always looking for ways to make dirty money clean. If you can legitimize a criminal's money, there will always be a big paycheck in it for you. Not to mention a long line of criminals queuing you for your services. It's hard to put an exact figure on how prevalent money laundering is, but the International Monetary Fund estimates that as much as 5% of the global economy has been laundered. 5. Warmongering. War is hell, but it's also highly lucrative. Conquering armies, kings, and nations have profited hugely from history's biggest conquests. From William the Conqueror, who was said to amass a fortune of $200 billion from his conquest of England, to the many Viking tribes who pillaged and looted their way to an easy life. There's a lot of gain from the suffering of others. And with a long line of greedy leaders chasing oil, construction deals, and weapon contracts, war is just as profitable as it was 1,000 years ago. 4. Trafficking. What is cheap in this region may be expensive in the next, and what is illegal in one country could be banned in another. It's a simple rule of supply and demand, and one that keeps weapon and drug traffickers in business. The trafficking of firearms and other weaponry is said to generate more than $1 billion every year, and this has nothing on the money generated through the trafficking of narcotics. 3. Prostitution. Prostitution is legal in many countries, but whether it's legal or not, this is an industry that generates an astonishing amount of money. Of course, the ones actually selling their bodies are getting a very small piece of the pie, and in some cases, they get nothing at all. All the money in this industry goes to the pimps, the brothel owners, and the gang bosses. And with legal and illegal prostitution earning close to $200 billion a year, there's a lot of money to go around. 2. Counterfeiting. Fakes have always been prevalent, but while they used to be limited to counterfeit currency and big label brands, they have since crossed over into every industry. The counterfeit medication industry alone is said to generate over $1.5 billion a year, and when you factor in fake clothing, electronics, alcohol, and even food, it's an industry that funnels tens of billions into the black market every year. It seems that for every profitable and legitimate industry, there is an illegitimate industry mirroring it and generating just as much wealth. And number 1, Druglord. Scarface was a loud, brash, and hyper-unrealistic film about drugs, guns, cash, and violence that epitomized the outlandish nature of the 1980s cinema. At least, that's how it seemed. But the truth is that Scarface had nothing on Pablo Escobar, whose life made Tony Montana look like a Nancy Drew villain. At the height of his success as the world's biggest drug lord, supplying 80% of the world's cocaine, Escobar was said to earn over $400 million a week. He earned so much money that he spent over $2,500 a month on elastic bands just to hold his wads of cash together. The richest criminal empires in the world have been built on the illicit drug trade, and the transport of everything from cocaine to meth continues to fill the pockets of drug lords and cartel bosses the world over.